All right, Kinetic Carl here again. 1966 Barracuda project. Just changed it around about a minute since the last, or two since the last video there. Changed it around so we can see the timing chain area. Let's see, I don't know. I guess that's okay lit, you can see. So, it's a brand new driving sprocket. Line her up for the key. Well, you know what? Let's take that key. We're gonna tap out that key and clean it. It's a little rough. See if it'll. I know that's probably not the right chisel. Let's get a regular cheese. Oh, here, a screwdriver. That'd be a better thing. See if it'll tap out of there. Wow, it's in there. This side looks lifted. I think it's a huh. Can't seem to budge it. Yeah, they don't provide a way to tap it out. Okay. Usually you can get, even these curved ones will, with a couple of taps, they'll start to jiggle out because they're going back and forth in a curved hole. But I think this one, we're just gonna clean it up in place. All right. Clean up file. All right. Be right back, folks. Over to my file container. Remove any indiscretions I just created. I think that's all it needed anyhow. There were some chinks in it you could feel as soon as you get the new guy going on. It would run right into something. The shaft is just beautifully clean, and of course it's all got shiny because it's got Marvel Mystery Oil on it. There we go. Now she's sliding on. All right, we got one more burr. Right at the end. I don't feel it on this side. Feels pretty smooth. Oh yeah, there it is. I feel a little. The file will drag a little, and then when you get it smooth, the file will move rather briskly because it's trying to file a whole bunch of surface instead of one little dimple of metal that's sticking out. All right, actually, just to make sure there's no metal debris from filing. And there we go. On, and now we're okay. Now this last bit, I know that the diameter on that shaft down there, they don't taper it, but it has a little slight step in it for a sort of, the last bit is meant to be, you know, they want you to get the key, and then that last bit is always just a little on the tight side. You know what I might do? No, it won't. Well, yeah, we'll just go ahead and get a socket. Should have rounded up my materials first, or tooling first. This one. that too? Yeah. Oops. Let's go about 2 sizes larger. And now, because I've still got the camera in selfie mode, so this engine will look backward for those aficionados that know what they're looking at. I'll try to reverse the video, but when I upload the video, maybe I could see about trying to flip it back to normal. I think you can do that. I don't know. You can't. I apologize for everything being backward. Okay. Now, I may have just gone and done that too early. We'll know in a minute. If I can't get that top sprocket on with the chain upon it, I may have to. Yeah, and there's the dot. It's right on top, pointed. I haven't turned anything since I took the original cam chain off. This may not cooperate. I may have to extricate my lower sprocket a little bit. Okay, so this guy, we're on the right direction, and the key is off to the left-hand side of the engine. There it is. She's on. Now that key didn't have any dings in it like the other key. Look at that, just slipped right on there. Okay. And the bottom sprocket still isn't on all the way. Let's see if I can get us looped up here. I'm not sure, but I think I have to ease this top one out somehow. Yep, okay. And the dot is down, or whoa, okay. The cam turned, I think. No, the cam didn't turn. Or if it did, it turned just a hair. It's pretty much pointed right at it. Okay, this is always fun. Just trying to find the sweet spot, find the chain. I'm gonna have to slide that bottom one out. And we're right on the key. We're gonna, not the key, we're gonna line up the dots. Yeah, there we go. I gotta take the bottom sprocket out just a little bit. I've got a little overzealous tapping it in there. So we'll just bring her out a touch. Okay. So just ease her out. Easy. Oops, hammer. Easy. Okay, come on. Yep, there we go. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's go see if that's enough slide room. So now I'm gonna match up my dots. The one, and it just won't climb on, so I'm gonna ease her out a little more. Oh, come on now, easy. You're gonna make me use 2 hands for everything, aren't you? So there, oh, hey, I got just enough to bump her on there. still, it's almost there. All right. Okay, we'll ease her out some more. Wish I could have got that key out, because this is all that, just the stubble on the key, I'm pretty sure. And I bet that's why that key has got stubble on it, is because it doesn't want to come out, and people have tried to remove it ahead of me. Because somebody has been in this engine before. I'm pretty sure of that. There she goes. Just once. Okay, you just want a two-sided push. Okay, this is what I should have done the first time round. We're still on the key down here. Bring in my top sprocket with the dot down. Get the chain on. Basically, you just put one dot right over the other and then pull up, and theoretically, you should be right on the mark if my big fat head isn't in there. And I'm gonna call that on the mark. And I think my cam turned just the teensiest amount, which kind of makes sense. Inevitably, you're on one rocker or another. See if I can't just boot the engine just a little bit. There's nothing to grab onto though, short of that key. Dadgummit. All right, see if I can just, wow. I wish they left you some option here for alignment. What do you guys do when you're in the situation? The key is just a little this way, so it's rubbing on the top side of that slot, and I just need that engine to turn just a teens. And I'm not sure what to grab onto that I don't hurt. All right, stay. No, it won't even stay. Okay. So we'll have to pre-turn the engine, maybe. I wonder if I can, that's a tight little, good Lord. Okay, channel locks. Be ever so gentle with the channel. They probably have a tool that's meant to go right over this that has the nice shaped teeth on it. So I'm just gonna be ever so gentle. I'm not gonna gun it because I don't need to turn, but just a teens. Ooh, that's probably too much right there. So line up my dots. Get on the chain. We're a tooth off. Come around a tooth. And we're in. Okay, that worked. Just a little channel lock work there. That top sprocket is now staying put. I just gotta, chemo leaves me with a drippy nose, especially on rainy days for some reason. And it's not because I'm running a temperature. I check my temperature daily, and I'm right at 197 this morning, which is a safe number. So here we go. I'm just gonna bring her on all gentle. We'll go on with the top one since it has the shortest distance from being ready to fall off. And then we'll go down to the bottom and bring her in, and then to the top and bring her in. There we go. Kind of gently all around. Bring in the bottom. Yeah. There's a little, no tension. Well, there's tension on one side, which is probably that little bit of spraying. I did go and turn the engine just a teens. Before I get too far, just double checking my dots. And I think I'm still off a tooth. Dadgummit. All right, so let's back her off. Glad I checked. I'm only human. Okay, this was the safest way I know, where we don't do any damage and we get the most push for my money. Okay, see if we can creep off the bottom. I've only removed old loose chains, never had to remove a tight chain. Well, not tight, but I mean unstretched chain, because it's not really hard to tight one. At least it didn't seem that way. Walk off and don't drop in the dirt. That's the other thing, is I want to take it off, but I don't want to toss it in the dirt either. I'd like to get it off gradual enough that I can step the chain one tooth and not have to try to reset zero again. Probably have a tool for this too, and back at Dodge, but there we go. Okay, so just get her hold in there. So I need to go this way, one tooth. So put the slack on this side. Is that one tooth? One tooth, yeah, okay. So now I run that slack around, one tooth, and there. Now, boy. Oh, okay, what the heck? That was like two teeth. How'd that happen? Did I go on the wrong side? Okay, so one tooth will put us back where we were. Run the slack this way. Am I thinking all backward? Or did I have my, yeah, I probably had it all in my head backward. Okay, so then one more tooth. Yeah, one. Bring it around. Now, oh, I think I was fine the first time round, because when I look at it, the engine's going to turn this way to get closer to the dots being over the other, and the cam's going the other way. So I had it fine. It was just because the engine slightly turned, right? Let's just bring her on, just a gradual touch, enough that the top won't jump off. Of course, it didn't seem to jump off before, but let's just make sure. Now, can I turn the engine? I got another trick. Oh yeah, it's in here. There's the harmonic balancer. It's got to go on soon anyhow. There's the tiny chain cover. Ooh, that's got to get wire wheeled. All right. I didn't wire wheel this yet, so we'll have to go through another air compressor run. And the harmonic balancer. Where are you? There's the old. There we go. Okay, now I got a way to turn it. Because the end of the shaft is sticking out, I will temporarily, this doesn't go on in this order. This actually goes on after the valve cover, but I'm going to turn the engine to get my line up for zero. Oops. Yeah, okay, they're facing each other. I was right the first time. The engine just was slightly turned to get the sprocket on the cam. So now my dots are here and here. Things are fine. Let's go ahead and bring it on some more. Yeah. And that won't go on anymore because of the depth of my socket. So the harmonic balancer, I'll just use that to tap it on. Oh, come on, yeah. Harmonic balancer is supposed to, because there's 8 cylinders here chugging away. And it's supposed to eliminate kind of the harmonic pulsing from these cylinders, because they're, I mean, yes, there's a flywheel on the other side, but you have to have on both ends of that shaft, you need to have a flywheel, or the shaft itself would twist or flex. So it's like a flywheel. It's on the front though, and absorbs that energy so that the so that the whole crankshaft turns as a unit. And granted, there still is a little bit of twist in the crankshaft, but it's super small amounts because there's a harmonic balancer on this end. Okay, if you didn't have that on the front, the engine would run really rough, and the crankshaft would be torquing and twisting, because those 8 cylinders are firing off, and some are close to the flywheel end and some are going through several other joints. And if you ever saw a crankshaft, it's not a straight shaft. It's noodly. It's got all kinds of offsets and different bearing surfaces on it. And those are all weak points where it can bend and twist if it's not got something to help give both ends inertia. And inertia is what this thing provides, the harmonic balancer, and it alleviates that torsional energy that runs through the crankshaft. So the harmonic balancer isn't tapping on real friendly. So you know what? Rather than get it stuck on there out of order, I'm gonna bring it off, and I've got yet another trick up my sleeve. I'll find a piece of steel tubing later and bring it on. It's only a 1/16 of an inch from being on all the way. So at this point, it's good enough for what I was gonna do, which is I just wanted to lock in the camshaft and the crankshaft so that they are in relationship to each other. Now it looks like I gotta go back to firing up the wire wheel air compressor combination, because I hadn't done the chain cover yet. And I think I'll also flip the engine over. So maybe would it be dangerous to flip the engine over while a camera's rolling? Let's go for it and see what happens. I'm going to change up my light so it doesn't fall down. There, it can't fall. It can wiggle around, but it can't fall. And we're going to get its power cord so it's not in harm's way. My jacket likes to hook on that. All right, and now we slack my earthquake safety device. That's this thing right here in the front. This is just, it's not, well, it's holding the weight of the engine only for the sake of earthquakes. I live here in Eureka, California. We have earthquakes, and they don't call ahead when they're gonna have one. They just, in California, we just go ahead and celebrate the earthquake unannounced. So what I'm doing here is just relaxing the earthquake prevention device, because I would hate for this classic engine to just topple over and hit the deck. So I've got that going on. Now let's see, adjustable wrench, and I think I'm going to glove up, because this thing, even though it's a stripped down engine, because of my medical situation, I have found that chemo has left me somewhat less strength than I used to have. So I give myself a little break when it comes to turning things like this. I will try to work smarter, not harder. I may end up using my cable come along if I can't muscle the strength to kind of lift one end and turn this thing. But it could get spectacular. It could try to flip around and stuff, but I think I've got enough clearance that it'll do it. Let's see. Make sure I grab onto something solid, not anything that's gonna... Oh, good Lord, that's heavy. Yeah. Okay. I think these bolts, yeah, my safety rope, it'll work the other way around. I just can't use it right now while I'm flipping it. So here we go again. Grab it onto something solid. Make sure I don't grab that. There's an oil pickup tube on the bottom I do not want to grab. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna roll away from the bench just a little bit. Don't want to strike the bench if it decides to suddenly turn on me. Okay, and I think I got another idea for giving myself a little control, because I'm putting a handle on. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Son of a gun. All right. Maybe I can't lift and turn. I gotta just turn. No, I can't do that. Okay. Gotta work hard, smarter, not harder. So I'm gonna go ahead and, well, maybe I'm not. My safety rope is stuck where it's at. I don't know if that'll play. Let's try. I might be able to turn it with the safety rope on. Get out of there. All I'm trying to do is get it turned over so I can do the oil pan side. When I get the air compressor all fired up, I want it to just be done, so I don't have to fire that big old compressor several times. Goifa! Yeah, keep the wrench on there, Carl. Yeah, there we go. Okay, safety rope helped. Kind of some of that weight of the engine. Let's see if I can slack it. There we go. Gotta love that. Trigger mechanism. And of course, everything on the ceiling wants to come down. There we go. Okay, getting hooked up on stuff here. Okay, try that. Okay, and I promptly lost the crescent. So here we go again, and over. You know what? I might, yeah, we'll go completely. Yeah, or maybe we won't. Are we hanging up? Yeah, probably. Oof. Yeah. Okay. The old cable come along. Up. There we go. Okay. One last little flip, and then we'll have the engine completely upside down. For those of you who have never seen the underside of an engine, now you can see that wiggly crankshaft I was talking about. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so you'll see the harmonic balancer. Here, I'll just put that on. Goes up front here. and takes up this energy. The flywheel would be back here, the transmission and going to the back of the car that way, and the front of the engine is this way toward you guys, toward the viewer, or toward the harmonic balancer. So the harmonic balancer adds some inertia. You got a flywheel on this end and clutch, that all has inertia. But on this end, if you didn't have that harmonic balancer, if you just had maybe that and a pulley to turn the alternator and water pump, that wouldn't be enough weight up front. And so this crankshaft would twist, believe it or not. And that twisting would cause all kinds of rough running conditions and possibly break your crankshaft if you were to really try to pour on some, feed it the onions and go somewhere, a lot of throttle. So the harmonic balancer on front helps to kind of normalize this crankshaft. It's still twisting, but albeit very tiny amounts that are not enough to cause a bearing to seize or a connecting rod to seize. And so here's the oil pickup. It's got a little dander on it there, but I'm gonna power up and I'm gonna clean. This has already been scraped down, I can see that. It just needs its wire wheeling, and this will probably get done first. Putting the oil pan and the seals on this end. I have to have oh no, I can't do this first. I gotta have the timing chain cover on first, and then I can do the oil pan, because there's a seal right here that isn't here on this end. There is one. This one's actually part of the case, I believe. Or no, it's part of this bearing, which I'm going to leave well enough alone. I'm not going to mess with that bearing. It wasn't leaking, but this seal was leaking, and this seal here was leaking just because the rubber bit in there was just hard and dead and shrinkage or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm gonna relocate just a little bit so that the rope is a little away from there. Let's run a rag around here. There's all the moisture and liquids from the engine. This side's been facing down for a while now, and don't want to wire wheel that juice all over everywhere. Yeah, we might have a cheek bit get poked, because it's also not just a wire wheel, it's a cheek poker 9000 that I'm using. There we go. Okay, and then the timing chain cover. Let's see, let's just lump that rag right there. The timing chain cover right here will also be part of this whole wheel wiring thing, and then I'll do the water pump surface too. That's all been scraped. It's been degreased once. It'll get another degreasing before gluing, but it's now time to fire up the air compressor and get on with the next bit. So I'm going to turn off the camera, and we'll resume with the next installment of the 1966 Barracuda and Kinetic Carl. Signing out.